My funeral. Well, first of all, I hope that's not soon. I think they would say that I am very passionate about my job. Very passionate about my job. Also, I think they would say, oh, another word that's difficult, another word to describe what they would say. Selfless. I think that's a good word. Always kept selfless.
And question two is, if you receive enough money to never need to work again, what would you spend your time doing?
If I received enough money to never work again, I think we're saying, are we talking like a lot of money, like Elon Musk money, like
Yes.
oh, then I would make my own space group. No, I would definitely construct my own scientific research group, which I would fund. So I would create a research company for biology, microbiology, microbiology, because that's my hobby and interest. So yeah.
Question two. Practice what facial expression you will make when your teacher takes a picture for your yearbook at school.
When my teacher took my facial expression,
No, you now.
so I practice what?
Your facial expression.
If there was a yearbook photo now, is that good, Shady?
No. Okay. Question four. Why did you become a science teacher and why did you come to PIS Cambodia?
Good question. I became a science teacher because when I was in year 13, I knew that I was interested in biology, but I didn't know what I wanted to do in the biology spectrum. So in my family, my granddad owned a hospital surgery in England, and my uncle and a lot of my relatives worked there as doctors. So there was a lot of pressure in my family to become one of the doctors. So I studied biomedical science at university, but I just didn't really have the passion to become a doctor. And so I had some experience working in a school as an assistant teacher, a teaching assistant. And I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed it so much that I spoke to the principal, and he said, would you be interested in training at the school to become a teacher? So I signed up to UCL, the University College London, and I did a training course to become a teacher. And since then, I feel like I get a sense of achievement when my students finally get into the university of their choice, and I know that I've had an impact. So I became a teacher because I feel that it's a really rewarding job, and every day is different. Every single day is different. I used to work as a debt manager in an office, and before that I was a manager for a retail company, and every day was the same. But being a teacher, every day is different.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, Cheng.
My first question is, what is the most challenging task of this year?
It's a good question. I feel that the most challenging task of this year is probably being a tutor for me, because I have so many high expectations of my tutees, and I'm constantly making sure that they are behaving correctly in their lessons, and feel like they've responded quite well to that. They're very receptive. They've made the job easier by being such friendly, receptive, reflective individuals. So it has been challenging, but they have also made it easy for me because they're a great form and they're doing really well. But I feel like it's more of a challenge that I've created for myself, not a challenge that they have created for me. It's just I have an expectation and I'm trying to make sure that each student meets that expectation.
And second question is, how was your first day of piano?
It's a good question, but it's been so long. It feels like it was so long ago. My first day here in this school. I remember arriving and just feeling like there was so much I had to learn about the school, and I felt slightly overwhelmed because I don't know the students' names, and so I was thinking, how am I going to learn all these names and make sure that I can recall someone's name when I see their face. So there was a very overwhelming feeling, but I will say that all the staff at the school were really friendly, and I think that the school has created a real family environment in which you feel like everyone is approachable, and it's just a really nice, comforting atmosphere. So I did feel at ease once I got talking to the other members of staff, and also the students. They definitely made me feel welcome immediately. There was no awkwardness of, oh, here's a new teacher. They were very welcoming as well.
Third question, can you understand when students speak Korean in class?
한국이지 right. So in my previous job, I worked at a school in China, in Suzhou. This was about five years ago, and 60% of the cohort were Korean. So I did pick up a few phrases, and so I can understand some words, but not whole conversations. And I can't speak Korean, and so not really.
So, last question, what advice would you give students who have difficulty with science?
It really depends. So if it's Key Stage 3, if it's Year 7, Year 8, I feel like the most important thing is to focus on not the content, but the skill. So don't worry if you feel like, oh, I can't remember what the function of a nucleus is. The most important thing is, are you improving in a certain skill? Can you recall concepts? Can you apply your knowledge? And can you design experiments? We call it AO1, AO2, AO3. AO1 is recall of knowledge, AO2 is application of knowledge, AO3 is designing experiments, evaluating experiments. I think that in Key Stage 3, focus on those skills. And how do you focus on those skills? Well, for recalling knowledge, create flashcards with the keywords on one side and the definition on the other side. If you are a student who struggles with English, it's not as simple as translating the keyword into your own language, because if you were to translate a keyword such as osmosis into Korean, that word may still not seem relevant to you. So I feel like it's important, no matter what your language ability is in terms of English, it's important to just focus on the language and the definition, simplify it in Key Stage 3. In Key Stage 4, I still feel like the concept is the same. You need to focus on key terminology and biology. For physics and chemistry, I'm not a physics and chemistry teacher, so I'll leave that question for them to answer. But for biology, it's most definitely keywords and knowing the definitions.
Thank you.
Okay?